This video will tell you about my program, Beatmasher, what it is, and how it works. The aim of Beatmasher is to provide a suite of tools that can be used to make electronic music. Beatmasher consists of various parts and is still in progress. This video will focus on Beatmasher's innovative mixing tool. The traditional method of mixing two beats together is to slowly fade one into the other. This has its advantages in that it can utilize the already present sound structure. However, if one wants to mix two MIDI beats together, this method does not work very well as all notes are faded in at the same time. Beatmasher takes a different approach. Instead of fading in audio, it fades in notes. To explain how it works, I must first explain some terminology that I use. A beat is a MIDI drum pattern. It is a unit of music that Beatmasher deals with. A track is a MIDI pattern for one note and represents the rhythm of one drum sound like a snare or a hi-hat. A note is a MIDI note, and a database is a collection of beats. A note is represented as either a 0 or a 1. A 0 means do nothing, and a 1 means play the note. Each note lasts for a certain duration, called a resolution. In Beatmasher, each note lasts for 30 seconds of a measure. A track is a list of notes. The main interface of this mixing tool is one large fader, the aim of which is to fade in the tracks of a beat one at a time, till all the tracks are playing. The order of the tracks to fade is determined by calculating their uniqueness. The uniqueness of a track is a decimal number between 0 and 1. It is calculated by looking at four factors: the periodicity of the track, the dissimilarity of the track from other tracks, the number of notes present in the track, and the uniqueness presented by the user. The periodicity is the length of a track after which it repeats. The program calculates this by splitting the beat into incremental lengths, repeating that piece, and comparing it to the original beat. The program then finds the smallest chunk of this beat that lines up the most number of zeros and ones. The dissimilarity of the track is calculated using two data sets. One predefined dataset consisting of generic EDM beats, and the beats that the user has loaded into the software. Each beat from the two databases is lined up and unmatched zeros and ones are counted. This number is then divided by the length of the beat. All the values are then compiled and averaged to give a final index of dissimilarity. The number of notes present in a beat is relevant because when fading in a track from a beat, one would want a subtle appearance of a few notes rather than an appearance of a lot of notes. Finally, the uniqueness provided by the user plays an important role in deciding how unique a track is, because it adds a way to take into account the sound design of the hit, whether it is a banal kick or a rare dubstep growl. When a track is faded in, the entire track is not brought in at one time. Instead, the same process is applied at a track level. Notes are faded in by uniqueness. This uniqueness is calculated by looking at the following graph. This graph is a plot of number of notes versus the position in a beat. It was made by taking a bunch of generic EDM 2-bar loops and adding up the number of notes at each time. The resolution of this graph is a 30-second beat. It follows that whatever position has a higher frequency on this graph is less unique, as more notes fall on that position. Thus, to create a uniqueness value for a given note in a track, we normalize this graph, negate it, and using the position of the note in a track as the x-coordinate, find the y value. After getting these values of uniqueness, fading in tracks is easy. The fader fades in the most unique notes of a track first, in the most unique tracks of a beat first. This way, we are able to create sparser beats that maintain the quality of the original and can be mixed into other beats playing in at the same time. Finally, here's a live demonstration.